What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Reacting to It's 2025, Why Every Guitarist Needs a Looper by Guitar Friend Tim. So what's going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be reacting to It's 2025, Here's Why Every Guitarist Needs a Looper by Guitar Friend Tim. As always, if you have not already, please go to Guitar Friend Tim and subscribe to that channel. I've also included the link for the original video in the description below. Please go and click on that and give that a like as well. And on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next, and let's get to it.
You're going to get better at guitar this year, and I know why. Look, I'm not going to teach you some secret, hidden, forbidden scale that doesn't actually exist. I'm not going to make you crack open a theory textbook and read it front to back. No, we're going to have fun, and we're going to do some things a little differently than you've been doing. We've got to spice up your pattern, and I'm here to say a looper. Yeah, if you use a looper in the 3 ways I'm going to show you today, you're going to have a lot more fun and make more progress this year. Let's get into it, Guitar Friend, talking about that looper. Oh yeah, that's a good sounding track. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play some tasty licks on that. I'm gonna solo all over this baby. D minor? Yeah, yes please.
The saddest.
Oh no, I hit the stop button. What happened? Where's all the vibe? You know why? It's because that track was doing all the work. You were just suffering from a very common thing called jam track-itis. I just made it up, but you know the feeling, right? It's when the track sounds so good, just about anything you could put on top sounds pretty good too. But if you were to actually kind of face the truth of turning your guitar on, you might find that it's a little bit less glamorous. Maybe we could be the rhythm section. Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that. It depends how you do it. I think that quite often, if you do have a groove going and you do have a loop going, and if you just stop and then just do some tasty guitar licks, a tasty break, and in a tasteful way, that, yeah, it helps bring the dynamics back down and back in over that loop and give you like almost make it feel like it's an actual change, even though technically there's been no chord change at all. It's one way to add different types of dynamics to it when, you know, you're using a very simple 2 or 4 bar loop. I don't think so, but let's see what our guitar friend Tim thinks.
Yeah, maybe we could work on our chords and our triads and put them into a rhythm part and then play some lead. You know how sometimes it tastes better to make a sandwich yourself? Let's use some home-cooked ingredients. Check it out. Imagine, if you will, I'm just sort of getting going with my guitar practice for the day. I'm playing a G chord.
Sandwich.
I'm just kind of vibing it out, just kind of vamping on a G chord. Maybe I'm practicing my triads a bit, like working through these shapes. But I got sort of a groove going. Now I think I can maybe hear some soloing ideas on top of it, but I gotta lay down this groove. Check it out. So I'm like, okay, I kind of like that. Now I gotta loop it. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Have you ever done that before? It sounds a little off, right? You created a loop that sort of doesn't sound even and it bums you out. And maybe that's what scared you off of using that looper that I'm pretty sure you have on your pedal board.
Happens to a lot of people, even musicians that have fantastic meter, that have fantastic timing, a lot of the times have a hard time with looping at first because it's not as easy as people would think. You really got to nail the start and the stop on that looper. If you don't, it throws things grossly out of whack. But it's like anything else in music or any other discipline. Practice. I know, I still run into it sometimes with looping myself, and I've been looping since like 2005-ish. I've been looping for almost 2 decades now. Wow. Well, that's kind of scary. I've been looping for almost 2 decades now. 2005, 2006? No, I think it's 2005. I've been looping for 2 decades. Wow. It's crazy. See this gray? See this gray in this beard? It was earned.
It's like you might have done it once or twice and said, oh, I'm no good at this. I can't make it match up. You just got to practice it. Because if you have that instant feedback that the loop isn't quite right, it just means you got to work on that transition point where you're playing the next downbeat. So let's try it again. We'll clear that out and just try to take your time and treat this as like level 1. If you can get past level 1 in building this loop, then you get to play some solo and some shredding licks on top. So let's try that again and just focus a little bit more. As you may have heard, it's a good idea to start playing your riff before you go to press record. So you feel your internal time. That's what we're talking about right now. And really settle in, then go for it. Okay, another trick you're going to want to try to remember is to play through the switch. So I played through that last chord.
That's right.
And it made it feel more like it was natural. Pretty good. And it doesn't have to be exact. It just has to feel and sound like the way you play rhythm.
Yep.
Now I've got my band. I've got a rhythm section. Now when I go to play some of my tasty licks that are in G major pentatonic in this case, not only does it sound a little more natural, a little more human, it sounds like something I made up. You're going to feel more of a burst of real dopamine, not the scroliosis kind, because you made up a
Scroliosis. I like it. I'm a fan. Yo, Tim, I like it. Scroliosis. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's nice. I like that. Thanks, Tim. He's your guitar friend named Tim. And he's not an advocate for scroliosis at all.
thing. The moment you make up a thing, you're going to have a real feeling of ownership of it. Look forward to that in 2025. That's all you, baby. I'm going down to get more stuff. Thing two about a looper that's great is that you can be more agile with your ideas. What do I mean? I mean that sometimes we'll be practicing a thing that came from a video and we feel like we have to practice the thing that we saw in the YouTube lesson or a course that we bought, and we're practicing it really diligently, but it's getting a little bit dry. And usually we only have the option of playing along with whatever lesson tracks or backing tracks came with that little bit of information. But if we're just working on a thing, let's say if I'm like just playing some triads, and if I have an idea, let's say if it's just sort of a random, like I like that chord, going to that chord, and I want to loop that, I can make a track now that matches that specific idea. I don't have to go looking for an MP3 and break my flow of creativity. So let's say I have these two.
Yeah, just for the simple way of practicing, like he said, just hashing out ideas. And here's one thing that's good, but then also a little bit bad. Almost every multi-effects unit, even the small 2-button with an expression pedal, multi-effects unit, amp modelers, all have built-in loopers. And it's great for practice, but that's what might discourage you is a lot of them only have 1 or 2 buttons, so it's like a double tap to stop as opposed to having another button to, yeah, they're not a great introduction to how looping can be, but they're great for practicing if you work your way around how to use them and you're not, trying to get everything to work live on the fly. You need at least, a 2-button looper that you can, or at least like, the small Boss one that has a MIDI extension pedal to it so that you can program a couple other buttons on that. But yes, it is absolutely fantastic for practicing. Yes, a lot of the little even headphone amp type things and practice amps, small battery powered practice amp these days, have a built-in looper in it for exactly that reason. Don't want to find an MP3 or a track to jam over? Just loop it and make your own track to jam over and practice over. Done.
Random triads that I just like. I'm just kind of vibing this vibe today. And for what it's worth, this is F going to a B flat. Those are the dots that are up there. So I like the groove, and I want to build a little loop and see where this takes me. There we go. So now I got my loop. Now I can freely play with some ideas on the low end.
early Steve Miller Joker
or wherever else. So I can have a quick thought and then not have to go chasing down MP3s or backing tracks, and also not just feel locked into whatever the lessons are telling me to do. You can follow an idea, express it, and suddenly create this thing that may be even more interesting than the lesson that you were just watching. You might fall your way into writing a song. That's pretty cool. 2025, that's you. That's all. I'm getting more stuff. Whoa, now I'm coming from in here. Oh, by the way, this is the kind of stuff I do with my members. Every week we do fresh workouts together. Live, come join us. My members are playing more guitar than they ever have before. I dare them every month to share some of their videos of what they're playing. They get creative, they get expressive. Some of them are making music that they're releasing out into the wild world of the digital landscape. Enjoy it. Have fun this year on guitar. Come join us. You get 2 weeks free. Try everything. See if it's right for you. We'll see you inside. So I hope you're getting the idea that with a looper, it's not so much about the gear and the features. It's the idea that it's a sketch pad for your creative impulses. And before you know it, you'll be making something that is real. You'll be writing a rhythm guitar part without feeling like you're writing a song. And because you have to lay down that foundation first, then when you play a lead idea, you will already know more about what's going on in the song that you're writing.
It's basically... especially if you're using, foot pedal loopers, it's having a recording studio at your feet as a guitar player or a bass player or that kind of musician. I know a lot of people do use the 505. That was meant mainly for DJs, but there's quite a few guitar players like Davodas, one of my favorite loopers out there, that uses the tabletop one, and he's not using the MIDI pedal to do it. Like, to me, as a guitar or bass player, it just seems crazy to be, trying to actually use the looper with your hands. He does it fantastically. He's the boss at it, man. I ain't saying, but for me, no, I need foot pedals for it. But yes, having a loop station is basically having a recording studio at your feet. And one thing that he didn't go over just yet that I'm sure he's gonna, you can lay down more than one loop. You can layer loop on top of loop, on top of loop, on top of loop, on top of loop. He can put together a part that has, a phrase, that has 4 or 5 parts. Because the second last groove that he was jamming over, when he said, you can experiment on that, when he was going from the F to the B flat, what he was basically starting off playing was like a bass line. Do that, have a bass line like a lot of people do, a lot of guitar loopers do, just string muting and just, you can do so much. Yes, you can layer loop over loop over loop over loop, which is, just like we were saying, great for hashing out ideas. Not just practice, but kind of ideas for writing and hashing them out before you bring them to an actual studio, load up your DAW, and record, an actual studio track in your DAW, so to speak.
And yet again, you might come up with something. We got an itchy dog syndrome back there.
Puppy.
Lolly, we're trying to make some magic up here. Hello.
It's a puppy.
Hey, dude, yeah. She's okay. So what she's itching to tell you is that you got to get a looper. And
hi, Poppy.
I have no affiliation whatsoever. Maybe I should, but grab one. Make that like the thing that you use this year to just jump into inspiration mode instead of always taking on information. Think about that. Oh, I got one more amazing idea for you how to use a looper. You're going to love it. I just got to go downstairs. Whoa. So as I was saying, so you see, kids, another awesome way loopers can help you get better without you realizing it is that they become a sketch pad and a journal for your riffs and ideas. So let's say there's one wistful morning I'm playing a little A major vamp, like, and I like it, so I record it.
Great tone, too.
And I store it. Great. And then some time passes, and on some other wistful morning, I'm working on a different idea, totally unrelated, or so I think at first, and I'm just capturing ideas as they come up. I'm not waiting for a better time to record it. I just jump in. So let's say I'm doing an exercise here with like a bass line I like. And I record that. Store that. And then somewhere in the back of my mind, I think of that other riff from that other day, and I wonder, could I put them together? Well, now I have them stored, captured, like a voice memo I can step on and suddenly give it a shot. Let's try. Starting with the A.
Great tone, man. Wow.
Now I'm switching.
Wow. Yeah. I am loving the tone. I'm wondering what his signal chain is, what he's going through. He's probably going through maybe just a plugin in his DAW or something to that extent after the looper. I'm not sure. I don't know what he's going into or, what modeler's using, but the tone of that strat that he's getting is fantastic. But yeah, he's absolutely right. It's not even just about, let's say you don't want to go and be a live looping artist. You're a guitar player in a band. That's more what this is all about. And those people that watch my channel know that I do a lot of live looping. I have been a live looper for 2 decades. That's at the cornerstone of what I do. But this is not for people that want to go out and be a live looper. This is more or less for just, hey, guitar players, you could still use a looper as a great practice and writing tool. And he is spot on about that. And wow, what tone.
Get the idea, right? I mean, it's your idea. We just put them together. This is you in 2025 in a way that looks like the way you play, in a way that matches how you like to express your ideas. I'm so excited for you. Keep it up.
All right. That was reacting to It's 2025. Here's Why Every Guitarist Needs a Looper by Guitar Friend Tim. As always, please go and give Guitar Friend Tim a subscribe. Go and click that subscribe button. And I also included the link for the original video in the description below. Go and click on that. Give the original video a like. And on this video, my video, leave a comment on what you'd like to see me react to next. Thanks for checking out this video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, click the notification bell, like, comment, and share. It doesn't cost a thing and would really help out the channel. Also, please subscribe to my other channel, GK Mac Music, for some live looping live streams with a side of jackassery, some original music, and some short content, also with a side of jackassery. If you'd like to help out the channel financially, you can buy some merch at the merch store, or you can become a channel member. As always, everyone, thanks so much for your continued support. Do what makes you happy.